Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. Got a really interesting story out of Fox Business. It is entitled Conagra CEO Notes Hunkering Down Behavior in Grocery Shoppers. If you didn't know, Conagra is a massive, massive conglomerate of producers of food. And they know better than anyone what the American public is buying, what they're eating, and how much they're eating. They study these trends like you wouldn't believe. And I thought this was an absolutely amazing story, really telling of what is going on in the real economy. You know, as the economy collapses, people go through this weird mentality. They've got bills and they start to have to make this crucial decision, and that is, what bills do we stop paying and when? What money do we stop saving and when? You know, where does our money flow? And Conagra is studying this, and there's some really interesting things going on here. It says the head of Conagra Brands on Thursday revealed a likely temporary, quote unquote, behavioral shift the company has observed from grocery shoppers in the recent months. Now, let me stop there and say I do not believe that this is a temporary shift in the fact that it's only going to last a couple months. Excuse me. Transitory inflation, we all know that was a joke, right? But behaviors, the Great Depression changed people forever. How many of you had an ancestor or a relative that was went through the Great Depression, especially as a younger person, and everything changed? And throughout their life, they were always hoarding things, they were always stashing things away, hiding things, a very, very different mentality than what had happened prior to the Great Depression and then much after the Great Depression with the baby boomers. It changed people. So as I tell you that when the economy crashes, it's going to come out. The sun will come out tomorrow, right? This is not just an Annie song, but there is literally going to be, though, a change, and it's going to be a sea change, a period of time where people act differently, okay? But like this, of course, CEOs are trying to tell you, hey, it's only temporary, it's super quick, this isn't really going to affect you, but they are trying to warn you. They're trying to warn their shareholders, please don't sell our stock, everything's okay, we're trying to do everything we can, and this isn't going to last forever, all right? It says here, during Conagra's fourth quarter earnings call, CEO Sean Connolly noted that some customers were, quote unquote, hunkering down and buying fewer items overall, a move that had done rather than, a move they had done rather than engaging in trading down to a less expensive brand. He did so while he described some headwinds that the food giant expected for the beginning of its fiscal 2024 year. Food companies are starting to wrap pricing in the year-ago period, and dollar sales are coming down as expected, but the rate of improvement in volume recovery is lagging. That suggests new consumer behavior shifts beyond the initial elasticity effects that occurred when pricing actions were initially taken, he told analysts and investors. We have seen this dynamic since just after Easter and has been broad-based across many categories and competitors. Connolly pointed to consumers trying to make their overall financial budgets go further as the likely driver of the hunkering down behavior. In June, the price of food overall, as measured by the Consumer Price Index, experienced a 0.1% increase from May and a 5.7% one over the past 12 months. For food at home, inflation stayed the same month over month, but has gone up 4.7% year over year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Let me stop there and say, you know, they may be sitting there and saying, hey, food's sort of frozen in time as far as price increases right now. But one thing that I have seen for sure is less sales. Let me know down in the comments below if you've seen the exact same thing, but much less sales. You know, the sales that where stores would run them, they would literally make no money, loss leader. But they wanted to just get you into the store, right? My local store, Albertsons, would run ribeye steaks for sale for $3.99 a pound, right? As early as just a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. Those sales are gone. And if they are sales, they're at like $7 a pound now. And it just seems like the sales aren't sales anymore. Let me know down in the comment section below, but they might be saying that right now food has kept rising, and now it's frozen for this 1 month period. I do not believe that's the case much longer. I think it is going to continue to rise. And again, I don't believe government numbers anyway. The summer being more travel intensive than 2022's was one potential explanation that Conagra's CEO mentioned on the call for the consumer behavior shift. Isn't that interesting? They're trying to blame that people are out busy vacationing and not staying at home eating. Two summer holiday, it just blows me away how these guys try and really stop the panic in the selling of their stock. Two summer holiday weekends, Memorial Day and 4th of July, were projected by AAA to see huge numbers of people traveling, with the organization estimating over 45 million for the former and about 50.7 million for the latter. Overall, we view this dynamic as likely temporary behavior shift for consumers to stretch their budgets, but we have captured it as a near-term headwind in our outlook, Connolly went on to say. He noted later in a call that people hadn't reduced how much they were eating. So that's interesting, eating the same amount, right? Another very limited headwind the company identified was some single ingredient brands experiencing deflation, requiring price adjustments, according to Connolly. Well, that's interesting. He said comparatively lower pension income and contributions from joint venture Ardent Mills will also post a headwind for the year. For fiscal year 2024, Conagra Brands projected that organic net sales would see an approximate 1% increase year over year. And then they projected their earnings. Conagra Brands expects fiscal 2024 to mark a transition towards a more normalized operating environment. Let me know down in the comment section if you think it's going to be a more normal operating environment in 2024, or if you think we have not seen anything yet. It says the Chicago-based food group giant reported an over 2% year-over-year jump in net sales for the fourth quarter, reaching $2.97 billion. Its quarterly net income, meanwhile, was $37.5 million, which was a decline. Check this out. Its quarterly net income was $37.5 million, right? That was a decline from $158 million reported the same time last year. Okay, think about that. Last year, this time, they made $158 million. This year, this same quarter, $37 million. So you could probably see why Conagra is sort of like in crisis mode, and they're trying their hardest to get into a point where people aren't selling their stock. And to give you an idea of Conagra and what kind of portfolio of brands they have, they include Marie Callender's, Swiss Miss, Orville Redenbacher, Slim Jim, Healthy Choice, and Gardein. So they do cover a massive portion of the food industry. Guys, I hope you got something out of this. I think there's a lot coming in the future. I think we're going to continue to see food prices higher, and that's a great reason to go ahead and stock up on some food and get some emergency food going. 6 months to a year, and just keep that food rotating, because you never know when you're going to need it. All right, guys, that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.